I am sharing 5 things that you need to do to ensure that you have a fantastic start to your homeschooling this fall. First of all, if you have children who are learning how to read, find a really solid curriculum that you feel good about, like All About Reading or something like that, to teach them to read, because that's going to be the most important thing. If your kids are reading and are a little bit older, like grade 3 and above, then find a math program that is really solid that you guys are going to be comfortable using, because you do not need all the things for all the subjects to start your homeschool year. But if you cover teaching reading and math for kids who are reading, you're going to feel a lot more prepared. The next thing is feather. Feather your subjects in at the beginning of your school year. Whether you have been homeschooling for years or this is your very first year, it is a guarantee to be a disaster if you hammer your children with every single thing that you've been planning all summer on the very first day of your back to home school. So feather it in, start with your reading program or your math curriculum, and slowly add things, because it's going to take all of you a little bit of time to get the feel for the curriculum that you're using, and it's so much more pleasant if you ease into it instead of have this huge shift all in one day. Next, find a read aloud or an audio book on Audible that you know you can listen to or read to with your children that you will all really enjoy. Reading to your kids or listening to audiobooks with them is the single most important thing that you can do in your homeschool. So start the year off with something that they are going to really love and enjoy. And for the best books and recommendations, I always go to Sarah Mackenzie at the Read Aloud Revival, and we have found so many wonderful books through her, and it's just a great way to start a day listening to your book together as you eat breakfast or cuddled on the couch, and it'll really kick off your school year on a positive note. Follow up your read aloud with some really good nonfiction. So Gail Gibbons is an excellent nonfiction author for picture books. And then Usborne is always my favorite when it comes to nonfiction. And you can cover so many subjects with a good nonfiction book. You can do all of history with the Usborne History Encyclopedia, or the Usborne First Science series, or First Oceans book. There's so many wonderful books through them that are really appropriate for all ages. So find a nonfiction book that interests your kids and what they're into. And then if you have older kids, pick one of the Usborne books that has internet links, and they can go and dive deeper into topics and do research. Maybe that'll start some kind of a project or a report. And that is a really great way to do some interest-based learning and cover a lot of subjects and really do something that your children will enjoy. Finish up your back to homeschool plans by finding a really great game. We love Cardline Animals, Ticket to Ride. There's so many good ones. And so find a card game or a board game that your kids will enjoy, and on the first day of back to homeschool, give that to them and learn how to play it together. Have one of your students read the instructions or find a YouTube on how to play, and then share that with the rest of the family. And so many skills can be covered in games, and you may even surprise your kids when they're thinking they're going back to school and you hand them a game back to homeschool. It'll just make the day really fun for you. So to recap, first, find a reading or math curriculum depending on your kids. Then, very important, feather your subjects in. Just start with 1 or 2 and slowly add them in as you go. Then Find a good read aloud from Sarah Mackenzie's recommendations and follow that with some great nonfiction from Usborne or some other source. And then finally, the last thing is remember to be flexible. You can make a plan and it's wonderful to plan, but know that things on paper are very different in real life, and it's okay to change and adapt, and it takes a little while to get into a routine. Remember, if your children were going to school, it takes them a couple weeks to get in routines there. They have to learn where to put things, where they go to the bathroom, how this teacher organizes things. So you are not keeping your kids back by taking the time to get comfortable with your new curriculum and getting some routines established in your home. So be flexible. On a sunny day, go to the beach before the sun is gone, and just really have fun and a fantastic fall with your family.